Mm-hmm. Okay, great. I believe we are now live on Facebook. Perfect. So, welcome everyone. We actually will be live on Facebook, so there might be some chat that I'm going to try my best to read this time, because last Monday we actually had people who voted for certain things, but I didn't see them because they were in the Facebook chat and it was hidden away from me. So today we're going to continue our virtual escape room sort of theme, but I really want us to focus a little bit in on how we can make our escape rooms more fun. So last week, as a recap, I'm just going to go back to last week's story that we worked on, and we did level 1. So level 1 is basically this thing called Spy in Action, and it was just covering an input field for the name. So let's just play it actually. So this is what we did last week, and if we play it, see, preview doesn't really like me right now. Why doesn't preview like me? There we go. So Spy in Action. One day, as you were out on an assignment, you were caught by Steve, your arch nemesis. I don't even think that's spelled right, but that's okay. So, what's my name? You can say your name is Fluffy, or what's another name we like? Lala. Okay, my name is Lala. Okay, so my name is Lala, and it'll use your name as a variable. So it'll not use your name as a variable. It'll assign. Okay, so we say hi Lala. So your name is replaced in the story, and then you can continue saying, I'm Agent Pete, let's get out of here. And you can provide some choices for your reader. So in this case, we had trust him and ignore him. And someone just reminded me that we did not actually do the ignore him path, right? We just did trust him. I think we just did trust him. So if you click trust him, you are redirected to a new page where it says, you're not sure if you made the right choice, but what choice do you really have? You follow him into a creepy room. And inside this room, let's trust him, go back. Inside this room, there's a couple of different objects. And some of these objects can glow. So you have a little bit of a glow. It's hard to see since it's dark. Yeah, so it's a bit dark, so it's a bit hard to see. And if you click on these glowing objects, they'll have a certain interaction. Because one of the problems of creating a level 1 sort of escape room, which is just asking someone questions and having them answer with which path they're going to choose, is that it can get kind of boring sometimes. So we want to add a couple of different interactions, and the one we did is we added a bounce effect with a sound effect. And here, and we added a riddle. So when you click on the, oh dear, oh, we forgot. We made it so you can't actually answer. Yeah, so one of our last week we were thinking, oh, what if we put a timer on the question, and the reader has to answer it within a certain amount of seconds before it goes on. So I'm going to get rid of this timer actually, and we're going to go. Okay, so yes, I'm reminded that we need to do the compare text. So let's actually finish this, and then we'll go to our ciphers and what a cipher is. So where was I? So here, let's go back to this page, because this page we had a lot of different interactions. And just so we have people understand what the heck is going on, I'm just going to briefly show you the back side of the page. So every page on elementary has two sides. The front side is called the layout design, where you design your story like PowerPoint or whatever. And the back side is where you code. So we have a couple different coded interactions. The first one is when I click on the butterfly, then it does two things at the same time. Do you remember what that's called? It's like functions in, it's not sequence, it's yes, functions in parallel. So this is called functions in parallel, when two functions or more are occurring at the same time. So the one above is functions in sequence because it occurs one after the other. So in this case, we recorded a sound, or I recorded a riddle that someone in chat kindly gave me. And then right after the recorded sound is played, then I'm directed to a different page. So that's kind of what we did. We spent most of our time doing this as well as the other two pages. And we were getting to the part where we are directed to page 6. So let's take a look at page 6. And on page 6, we use the text variable. So do you remember what a variable is? What's a variable? What's the definition of a variable? I ask this every week. We forget it every week. Maybe you can give me an example of a variable. What could be an example of a variable? Thank you, except for player answer. This is given to you. What's another example of a variable? Okay, can you give me a little bit more than just anything? Yeah, so a variable can be a basket, and really, it really is like a basket. It's a container, and it holds information. So a variable holds some sort of information, some sort of value. And in this case, the value that we are storing inside our variable called player answer is whatever the reader has typed in here. So whatever the answer to the riddle was. So let me just show you really quick. So how do we show the variable on the layout side? Do you remember how we did that? Like, how do I show the reader's answer here on this page? Okay, so like for example, I'm going to preview and I'm going to type in an answer here. So my answer is, I don't know, strawberry or something. Strawberry. Steve. Okay. So in this case, the answer is wrong. So Steve finds you and locks you up. Okay. So normally, if we want to show the answer or show whatever value the variable is, we can use the, what is it called? You can use the mustache. So mustache is a variable template syntax. That's just a fancy way of saying it shows you like this is a variable. So in our case, it's player answer. So it needs to match exactly what we named the variable. So player underscore answer. Let me put two little, yeah. You don't need the spaces between the mustaches, but you do need the mustaches on both sides. So you see player answer here and player answer here are exactly the same. I'm not going to actually do the go-to page so we can see. So we'll get to the compare text in a little bit. So let's preview this, and you'll notice that my little mustaches disappeared, and that's because by default, the variable player answer is empty. We haven't stored any information there yet. So I don't think it will like that very much if we put mustaches here. It wouldn't like that. So let's put Steve. Let's put Steve. And Steve will appear here because that would be our answer. So that's just one way that you can debug and test your variables. We're going to just remove that. And I want to now talk about this compare text block, which we kind of run out of time last time to really go over in detail. So compare text, it's in the logic section. So inside the logic section, you have compare Boolean, compare number, and compare text, and or blocks. We're going to ignore all the ones on top. They don't exist, and we're only going to look at compare text. So compare text, you can only use variables that are text variables. So like, for example, if I were to just, off the top of my head, just, create a whole bunch of these Boolean variables, I can't actually select it because it's not a text variable. Do you see? So I only have two options, name and player answer. So I'm going to get rid of this because I don't care about it. So player answer is my variable. So that is what I created and what is the container storing the value. And the value is what the reader is putting in. So whatever text the reader is putting in. And we're going to compare that to, in our case, the answer to the riddle. It could be really anything. In our case, we just want to make sure it's the answer. And we have 3 output ports. So depending on if the answer matches exactly, then we can do something. So we can go to page 8, for example. And if it doesn't, then we can go to page 7. Includes basically just means that the answer that you put in is included inside of the big one. So if you put like a plural, like, I don't know, like strawberries. Well, no, strawberries is kind of bad because you do IES, but if you do something like cat and cats, and maybe you want to say cat is included inside cats, for example. For the most part, we don't really care too much about includes. We just care if it matches exactly. And when we say it matches exactly, it needs to match exactly. So if it's capital, it needs to be a capital. If it's lowercase, it needs to be lowercase. So it's not, computers are not that smart. They're not like us as humans where we know what the answer kind of is, even if you spelled it incorrectly or you did weird capitalizations. Computers are really dumb, so you have to specify exactly. Yeah, so if it doesn't match exactly, it will say that it's wrong, and then you'll go to the page where Steve locks you up. So this is what we did last week as a recap, and the video for that is on YouTube in somewhere there on our YouTube channel as well as Facebook, so you can see that if you want. But today I didn't really want to finish our story here. I wanted to really focus on how we can make our escape rooms just more interesting. So we kind of covered like you can do branches, you can do just like a choose your own adventure, you can do branches in the choice. And we also covered basically a free response question. So you can give a question and the reader can respond. So that's great. But if you do that continuously throughout your escape room and you keep on asking questions, it's just going to be feeling like a quiz, and that's not really fun. So we don't want to have a quiz. We want to do something a little bit more fun. So yeah, let's try that. Yeah, nobody likes quizzes. So let's try something a little bit more interesting, and or how we can take something that, yeah, we can do adding an Easter egg later. It all depends on how much time we have. So I started this, and this is actually going to be a lesson plan at some point later when I make it pretty and add my voice and things like that. But we're going to cover just a little bit of ciphers and coded messages. So do you know what cryptography is? I'm going to ignore that. Do you know what cryptography is? Have you heard of the term cryptography? You haven't heard of cryptography? Okay, so cryptography is a method of protecting information and communication through the use of codes so that only those whom the information is intended can read and process it. That's a really long explanation. It's basically just saying that if I send you a message, I want only you to be able to read this message. I don't want anybody else to be able to read this message. And a long time ago, before, computers or even really any real technology was around, cryptography was around. And back then, the word cryptography actually comes from ancient Greek. So cryptos means hidden and secret, and graphene means to write. So it's to write a secret message. And back then, they were using different methods to encode or turn a message into something that is, it looks like gibberish to the normal person. But the person who's receiving it will have a code book where they can, decode and read the message that was intended for them. Oh yeah, interesting. So activity books have that. Yeah, so cryptography now though so cryptography is used very often now in computer science, but it's no longer like, oh, I want to send a secret message to someone. It's mostly used to protect information. So for example, when you go onto your email, and also like your password. So when you sign up for an account on any website, you would have to, give your username, your email, and then your password, probably like 2 times, right? So you would put in your password, and what happens is that the website doesn't actually store your password. Like if your password was, ABC123, it doesn't store ABC123, like ABC123. It doesn't store this directly in the database because that's very insecure. Instead, it will actually encode your password into some gibberish like IE1237, I don't know, H, whatever. And they'll make a huge gibberish long string. And so that way, when people actually get or if people see your password, they won't see the ABC123 because this is very, very sensitive information. They'll see this super long string that you don't really understand. So it's used very often in computer science, and it's very, very important for data security. But we're not going to do, that sort of stuff. We're going to do more of the fun, old style of coding messages. So we're going to actually perform one cipher. So in cryptography, a cipher is an algorithm for performing encryption and decryption. And this word algorithm is really scary looking, but we see this really often in computer science. And it's just a fancy way of saying instructions. Like, I don't know, because it's a big word, it's really long, and so people are not used to long words that they don't understand. But I'm just saying algorithm, the definition of one is it's just a set of instructions that you give, usually to a computer. So anytime we code anything, we're basically creating an algorithm. So that's just the definition of algorithm. So have you seen this image before of some sort? It's brand new to you? What about you? How about you, Aiden? Have you seen this before? Yes, no, maybe so? Okay, do you know what it is? Do you know what it's called? Can you share with people what it's called? Or do you not remember? You forgot what it's called? You know what it is? Okay, great. So you're going to be our expert in explaining what it is. So it's called a Caesar cipher, and it's one of my favorite ciphers because it's just fun, I think. And no, you don't like Caesar ciphers? Caesar ciphers are evil? You don't know what it is? So basically a Caesar cipher is, I'm gonna actually lock this. And so you can only move and rotate. Yeah, perfect. So a Caesar cipher is basically going to take a message and we are going to rotate the letters. So let me just give you a really quick example. It's probably easier to give you an example than to explain it. So if my message is, hi, yeah. So you twist it and it becomes a coded message. And so let's just say our Caesar cipher is going to have a, I don't know, pick a number between 1 to, I don't know, 26, because that's how many, 25. Pick a number, any number. 15. Why do you have to make it so hard for me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think it's the O. So basically it means we're just going to rotate so our A becomes an O. Like so. And so we would just basically say, instead of hi being hi with HI, we're going to, I didn't take it on the page. Great. Instead of HI, it's going to be, where's H? Do you see H? H is here. Or are we doing the top one? It doesn't really matter. HI. TU. Or TU. It's going to be called TU. This makes no sense. Okay, so why do you want me to do 24.3? I can't do 24.3. Okay, so let's do an easier one. Let's do just 1. Let's just transpose it by 1 instead of 15. Well, let's do 1. Okay, so it basically means all of your A's will become B's, all of your B's will become C's, all of your C's will become D's, and all of your D's will become... Yeah, so in this case, if you say like, okay, I'm going to move this over a bit. Oh dear. Oh dear, did not mean to do that. Yeah, I put it on lock, I realized that. So we're not going to do that. We're going to use hello, my name is Nicole. Or Phil. You want Phil? Bill. My name is Bill. Okay. So if we wanted to encode this message, what we're going to basically do is, if we only move it by 1 letter, all the H's will become what? I's. So all the H's will become I's. You're going to start with I, and then what's E? F, M, P, what's the next letter? B. Yep. Uh-huh. Aiden's like, go, I'm here supporting you in the back. Jay, what was? Uh-huh. Okay, so basically this would be what you would send. And as a normal person, you're like, what does this mean? this is your encoded message. So you can do things like that in your decode your message. So that way it makes it a little bit more of a challenge for people who want to play your game. And then what you can do is similarly to how we did with the riddle, you can have them either answer. So for example, instead of saying the riddle directly, you can encode the message or the riddle. Yeah, don't try to pronounce this. It doesn't work. Okay. So that's basically the mechanism behind a Caesar cipher. And what I wanted to do, I thought this would be kind of fun, is if we can code the Caesar cipher to rotate. What do you think? So we can like do the rotations left and right. So we can do something like, let me grab. He's like, nope. Have fun. Nope, not helping you. I don't know. Ask him. Ask him why he doesn't want to help you. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so I made 2 buttons and I'm going to actually make it easier by, first of all, aligning the A so it's at the top and not on the side. So let's just rotate all of this. Looks better this way? Yeah, I think it looks better this way. I don't know, how do we get it to go left and right? How do you think? So we have a rotate function and we're gonna try it out. So we're gonna use the rotate function. I think if we do 999 degrees, that might be a little bit too much. Okay, you want to try 999 degrees? Okay, let's try it. What, 84 degrees? Okay, so hold on. Someone help me code this. We're gonna use the on-click block. Wait, who's doing it? Who's gonna help me? Aiden? Is it you? I don't know. Who said I will? I don't even know anymore. Okay. Okay, La La Land, let's go. Okay, preview. And click on left. I think it's not quite 88. Also, it's rotating right instead of left, so. Alright, so how do we do this? Okay. Alright, great. So now it's rotating right. I think you mean on click, rotate, image, all that? No, you can't copy it on the same page. You could copy it on a different page. Yeah, you have to grab all the blocks. You already have it on the page. Great. So you're gonna do it for the left. Which one's rotating? You can also use the same image. So hold on. Are you struggling? Negative 999. Okay. You like left better? Yeah, so we use the wrong event. If you use onClick once, you only trigger it once. So you need to grab onClick instead. Perfect. All good. Great. So, give me back my control. Give me back my mouse. Abort control. Okay, great. So let's continue then. I don't really like negative 999. I don't think that's a very good number. So what's the number we need in order to rotate just one letter at a time? No. We're not gonna start off with 1 and try until we get it. We're not going one at a time. Let's be a little smarter here, okay? Like, so what number should we get? 100. Okay, so let's try 100. So preview. I did it on which one? Right? Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, that's it. Why don't we try? Try what? Try 1? Okay. It doesn't move very much, I must say. So close. What number? 50? 10? Almost. Not quite. $10.9. I think it just rounds up. That's kind of annoying. Close enough. Let's do 12. Let's actually do 13. So yeah, so actually it needs to be how many degrees are in a circle? Okay, so there's 360 degrees, and how many letters are in the alphabet? Yeah, so what's that number? It's not math time. Anyway, it's about 13. 13.8. So it's around 13 to 14. Unfortunately, we can't really do point degrees. I might have to fix that so we can actually have a working circle. But this would be kind of how you would do it. So it gives you an idea. Yeah, it's just a little bit off. And then on this side, it would be negative 14. Yeah, so you could go back and forth like this. So this can be a way to show that you have a Caesar cipher, because sometimes if you just see the ciphered message, you might think, what is this? And in some cases, maybe they might not have heard of Caesar ciphers, so then your reader will be very confused and not know how to decode the message. So you can use this. This image will actually be uploaded as a free thing, so you guys can use this. Right now it's just in my folders, but I'll upload it at some point so you guys can use it yourself. And you can create your own Caesar cipher messages to put in your escape room stories, or in any story really, as a way to get your reader to think a little bit more. So how are your all brains? Your brains are okay? They're alive? Your brain hurts? Okay. So yeah, this is a little bit more difficult. But this is just like I said, another way that you can add some more jazz to your story. Okay. So we have a couple of options. We can either continue this escape room, start a new one, or learn about how to add an Easter egg, which might make your brain hurt a little bit more, because we'll do Boolean. You can take it. Which one? The egg? What up to you guys. Okay, so what's your vote, Aiden? What do you want to do? Facebook people, do we have anyone who is voting? We only have a couple people watching today. Yesterday we had quite a few. It was about like 50 or so. So I was like, oh, cool. Anyway, any votes on Facebook on what we should do next? No? Yes, no, maybe so? You want to do spy in action? What about you, Aiden? You have an opinion, or you don't care? No, this is for Monday. It doesn't matter. Okay, spy in action. Okay, so I'm gonna clean up this story a bit. So we have... Oh, we need to do the ignore him. What happens when you ignore him? Okay. So we have a couple options. We can either continue with the ignore him path, or figure out what to do. Instead of you escaped, we can move on to the next room, for example. You want to do the ignore him? Okay, so what happens when you ignore him? So once again, it's like, what do you decide to do? Trust him or ignore him? So ignore him. What happens here? Okay, so you're still in the jail cell. Let me find the dungeon. This one. So you're still in the jail cell. This one. And... okay, I'm gonna... How about you just do your work? I just give you my remote. Here you go. Okay, La La Land. Go. You have my remote. You can... Mad face. Oh, that's pretty mad, yes. Okay, so he's mad, and what's he gonna say? How dare you? Okay. What are you doing to my page? The color? Okay. So what are you going to code? Talk to us and tell us what you're doing. Because I am confused. This is not talking. Okay, you're concentrated. Okay. Business time. So on page start, play a text effect. And then fade in the darkness. It's just good night afterwards. Shouldn't you say? You want to make him bigger afterwards? Yeah, so we can no, you can leave him there. We can just use the no, it's okay. Go back to the event graph. There's a scale function. So you can use the scale function. Yeah, to make him bigger. I think it's yeah, that's too far. It's somewhere near rotate. Right there. Alright, so scale. We used scale before, but basically scale, if it's greater than 1, then it'll be bigger. And if it's less than 1, two means 2 times bigger, so that's pretty big. Yeah, try 1.5. You probably want to fade in the thing again, otherwise it's going to be black from the beginning. Yeah. So once again, for people who are joining us on Facebook, I am not coding anything. My job is pretty easy right now. I'm literally doing nothing. Yeah, okay, great. So I don't know why the text isn't fading in. I feel like we had this problem last time too. Yeah, I feel like my computer sometimes doesn't like me too much right now. Okay, try again. Preview from the page 5. At the hit next, yeah. There we go. Oh, it looks pretty good. So, so are we gonna have like a? They just see a black screen and that's it? Like that's it? There could. Just put it on and then try to change the font color. Font color is right there. Yep. Game over. Okay, well, Aiden approves of your game over. Facebook, I don't know if Facebook approves. We'll see. Preview it. Great. Yeah, we just need like, some dramatic music when the game over page plays. And then I think it's perfect after that. I'm gonna go to the sounds button to... I don't think Bum Bum will come up with anything. I don't think Bum 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 will come up with anything either. Search for indicators. Yeah, right here. Hold on. I feel like the... Oh my god, it's... That was loud. Okay, just add that one then. You need a function? What function do you need? So the question is, how do I do this? And yes, you need a function. Yep. Play sound effect. That's the right function. Great. Yep, we need these functions to lock the navigation so the user cannot navigate to a page that we don't want them to. Okay, great. Okay, I have my mouse again. Hooray, I have control again. Too many tabs. Okay, spy in action. So what's the name this time? Steve caught Steve. Is that what it is? We're gonna name ourselves. Okay, so Steve is gonna catch another Steve. Okay. Hi, Steve. I'm Agent Pete. Okay, so let's trust him, ignore him. We already did ignore him, so let's do trust him again to see if everything kind of works. So the password, what was the answer to this? It was lowercase, but what was the answer? Newspaper. And then we go to the you escaped. So, where is this? Let's design maybe this page when Steve finds you and locks you up. We don't even know what Steve looks like. What does Steve even look like? What is Steve? Is Steve an animal or a human, first of all? Steve's an animal? Steve is... Okay, so we have a vote. Steve is an alien. Do we... The blue alien? These are kind of weird aliens. Okay, so alien... I go into creatures. What do I get? This one? This is Steve. Do we have any other votes for what Steve should look like? Otherwise, we're going with a blue. This... Purple monkey. This one? I think I like Steve being this thing. It's kind of cute. But... Okay, so Steve is gonna walk. Well... Okay. I could just sit back and you're gonna code everything. Aiden, do you want to code something or write something? Or you're okay to just sit back also? Okay. He's okay. He's just gonna enjoy the show. Okay, here you go. Yeah, we're here to enjoy the show of what's happening when Steve finds you and locks you up. Right at the exit. You can maybe drag from the left side to make him go off screen. You can also make him fade in and then walk, so that way he doesn't have a weird, like, appears out of nowhere. Okay, so for those who are joining us, we are making Steve. What are we making Steve do? So we're making Steve fade in and then walk towards the reader. So this story is you're trapped in a dungeon and you need to somehow escape. Okay. So we're gonna wait 2 seconds and then we're gonna fade in. What are we fading in? Well, we only have one object, Steve, the blue alien. And for all those watching, I'm not doing anything, so I'm just talking. That's pretty much it. Everything is being coded and written by none other than Brennan, as he likes to say. You won't be able to hear him, but he's very vocal. They won't hear you no matter how much you talk, so... Only person who's gonna hear you are people in the Zoom meeting. Everybody else, Caught. Yeah, I caught you. So this is in his alien language. That's a really long tail. Okay. So just so you all know, the W something is his lovely alien language. Mm-hmm. Gonna fix our punctuation. Yep. Okay. Okay, great. So you get caught, and then what happens when you get caught? Do you start over the game, or is it a game over forever? Yep, you can do that. You could do the delay, so you don't have to do the wait. So what are you doing next? Where's what? What are you looking for? Hey, are you looking for go-to page? You passed it. It was somewhere in the middle down area. Keep going down. Right there. So we're duplicating a page for I have no idea why. Something is happening. Ah, so we're gonna make a new cover page for. So then after the first page plays, then we want to go to page 3 now, because page 2 is actually going to be a new cover page when you well, you're learning how to code, so that's why it's getting better and better. Now you can code faster. Great. Perfect. And that ends our time together today. So I'm going to take back my mouse, and I don't know if any of you have any questions, or if people who are watching live have any questions. Now's your time. Otherwise, I will sign out for today. So I'm going to just wait a little bit and see you later, guys. And I'll be